Welcome to the King Leo Show, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Washed my hair. Washed my hair. It's hot in my place. I'm going through it. Let me check this. Welcome to. How's everyone doing tonight, man? Who we got here? J Boss, how you doing, sir? Eves, how you doing? We don't have much to get through tonight, but that's okay. We're still gonna have fun. There really isn't much going on, which is probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing. It's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the King Leo Show, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? I'm excited to be here on this wonderful Wednesday night. Hope you guys are having a good time. Look at how ghetto this is. I don't even have, let me take this label off, as people tend to do. Don't even have a mug tonight. It's hot in my, I've been going through this AC issue. But don't you worry. We're going to be okay. All right. How's everyone doing tonight, man? How's everyone doing? Damn, hang on 1 second. Label comes on. All right. How's everyone doing? We got to talk about Zohran Mamdani. We got to talk about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirky. That's going to be a fun day, the 10th. I wonder what's going to happen. How far away are we from it? We should start a countdown. We're 2 weeks away in a day. It's going to be a very interesting thing. All right. And before we begin our show, I just have to announce there's some big news. Big news. Okay, we have some huge news. One of the men who actually went through the where is it? Someone who went through this.
We're gonna send you someplace that you're not gonna like.
And he's like, I'm not afraid of Guantanamo. I said, Guantanamo? I never said I was gonna send you to Guantanamo.
I'm gonna send you to Jerusalem.
One of the people who actually went through that in real life, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the man responsible for September 11th, or so I've been told. I've been told that information. Don't get your panties in a bunch if you don't believe the official story, okay? I've been told that this is accurate information, okay? Let's read this here from ABC News. The self-proclaimed mastermind of the 9/11 attacks will stand trial on June 2028, a military judge ruled Wednesday. Nearly 25 years after the attacks, KSM Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has been held at Guantanamo since 2003. They are going to put KSM on trial. Look at that. Alleged 9/11 mastermind's long-awaited trial scheduled for 2028. Very interesting to see that. I didn't expect us to ever do this. I thought he was going to die. This is a real trooper, by the way. This is what he's a tough cookie. He's not a soft cookie. He's a tough cookie, as President Trump would say. I mean, this is the guy who figured out, he read the rules and regulations for how long he could be waterboarded legally and would put his hand up and count as they waterboarded him. He didn't give anyone up. He's been in Cuba, not on the tropical vacation side, but on the Guantanamo side, which probably has better food than the rest of Cuba, for 25 years. That's a quarter century. That's a long time. And for anyone that doesn't know the story of 9/11, as we're often told, which is fine, is that there were these guys. Okay, I feel like a boomer. Okay, that there were these guys long time ago, back in the 1990s. Okay, and they had this group called Al Qaeda. Now, if you talk to Adam Curtis, he'll tell you this isn't true, but whatever. All right, there's this group of guys. And they're sitting around and they're going, how do we defeat the American empire? How can we remove America from our territory? And so this group of guys led by Osama bin Laden is like, we need to start brainstorming. We need to start having ideas, all right? That's what we're getting paid for. These are all like Saudi and Arab guys in Afghanistan who had fought against the Soviet Union. Okay, the Mujahideen, our allies under Reagan, decided, hey, we have defeated the atheist menace of communism. In fact, my producer confirms this for me. They were going around going, we are the reason America won the Cold War. It is us, okay? It is not the blue jeans. It is me. with my faith, right? So they're sitting around in tents, eating goat meat and all that. And they're like, how can we scare the shit out of America and make them leave the region? And so Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has an idea. He starts planning it in the Philippines, actually. Do you know why that is? I learned that from Thaddeus Russell. Because there are radical Muslims in the Philippines that have been radicalized since the Philippine-American War. They have not been happy with America since then. They're like, come with us, brother. Come plan over here the big attack. And so KSM had this idea where he was like, dude, what if we put explosives on airplanes flying over the Atlantic and we like detonate them all at the same time in the year 2000? And they're like, brother, that is an interesting idea, but too expensive. He's like, fuck, dude, that's too much money. So they do like this ghetto version of 9/11 in 1993. And they bring this guy, Ramzi Youssef, under the World Trade Center, and he detonates a car, a truck, I don't know, some crap. And nothing happens, right? You think it's going to be like Fight Club. It's not like Fight Club, okay? And then they're like, we must go back to the drawing board. And KSM is like, dude, check it. We're going to send these guys to America. They're going to train to be pilots. And then they're going to do 9/11. And they're like, well, that's crazy. How are you calling it 9/11 before it even happened? You know? But all right, anyway. Then they do 9/11. And America declares war in Afghanistan and then Iraq into 2005. And KSM is one of the first people captured as part of the organization, you know, the part of Al Qaeda. And they send his ass to Cuba, you know, back in 2003. And they're like, we're going to torture you till you give up the big man. He does not give it up at all. At all. And for a long time, Americans, mostly on the left, but some libertarians as well, have been pestering the public. They haven't been full like this.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along?
That's not what they're saying. But they are saying, look, these guys, they're being tortured. They gave us all the information possible. In fact, all the information we got that was useful came from not torturing them, okay? And KSM is like a total psycho, all right? He's not going to give anyone up. He really believes in what he believes. Why don't we just put him on trial? But America has said, no, we can't do that because if we put them on trial, we admit that they're prisoners of war, and then we can't have them in Guantanamo. These are called enemy combatants, okay? And for some reason, he's going to get a court-martial, a military trial. I don't know how this is going to work. It's going to be very interesting. I hope they televise it. And I just want to say, because as soon as I saw this news, I want to see it because this is going to be weird. They can't do this in a public trial because of national security. I'm sure there's a lot of things around 9/11 that we don't want to come out, okay? There's a lot of national security issues around 9/11 that we want to make sure that stays under wraps, right? But what I'm wondering is, I really do hope it's public, at least parts of it. Like maybe it's not redacted. Because I think, and call me crazy, but there is a defense that can get Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, if not off, he will have had some support. Even people who hate him, who hate 9/11, will say, you know, maybe he deserves to be heard from, actually. And I think that we could argue that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was suffering from postpartum psychosis while he was planning 9/11, just like Lindsay Clancy, okay? And, you know, things are complicated when you have postpartum psychosis, okay? Things that seem normal, abnormal, normally become normal to you. I can't think of what state of mind you could be in to plan 9/11 to a T unless you are in a state of psychosis. And postpartum may be one of them, okay? If I were the KSM defense attorney, I would immediately immediately start claiming that my client, his hormones were out of whack. Judge, you have no idea. Look, I got an expert witness over here. We brought Casey Anthony, the ghost of Ted Bundy, and Lindsay Clancy to testify. Listen, Judge, you have no idea what it's like. It's not easy. It is not easy. Okay? He was a new father, Judge. He was trying to buy some chicken tenders for his boy. That in any normal country, this man would be taken to a mental hospital for the rest of his life. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see. 2 years away. How old is KSM? Let's see how old he is. What's up, CCTV? J-Boss says, great build-up. All right. I'm glad that worked. How old is KSM? One of the more interesting people, man. That did not look at him now, bro. He became a ginger. He became Irish. And this is what happens to Guantanamo. You go in as, what is he? Was he Egyptian? No, you go in Kuwaiti, but you come out Irish. Guantanamo is all the Irish people are actually made in Guantanamo Bay. Okay, you go in there Kuwaiti, you come out Irish. I bet he believes in leprechauns and shit now. Okay, Kuwaiti got 61. He's gonna be 63 on trial. Look at these charges. 2,977 counts of first-degree murder. I mean, just what are we doing? That's how. Imagine being the pro bono lawyer that has to take this, because they froze his money. Man, oh man. Look at his nephews. What did his nephews do? Yeah, look. His nephew went into the family business. All right, the Pakistan terrorist. Another one went in the family. Look, they're bunkmates. His other nephews his brother. He's the older brother. It's a family business. Look at that. So, I mean, innocent until proven guilty, right? So someone proved that he did it, because I look at a picture of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and I just see an Irish guy who is learning about Islam. I'm not sure. I haven't been. Where is the evidence? You got to watch that. What's it called? That documentary by Adam Curtis about Al Qaeda. That'll change your life. It'll change your life. So I guess as all rich people say, to quote Tim Dillon, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, I wish you well, brother. I wish you well. I wish you well. I mean, we'll see how it goes. It'll be an interesting trial. There will be twists and turns, all right? It'll be the Kyle Rittenhouse trial of the 2020s. It'll be amazing. All right. Let's get to the show, everyone. I hope everyone's ready for a great show. Let's start. Speaking of psychopaths, schizo dealers, and the mentally insane, let's watch a little Jesse Kelly. We like to watch Jesse Kelly on the show every once in a while. One of the craziest people in America, straight to the boomer ears while they drive. Let's watch this clip.
Are we already giving up on November? And I asked that for this specific reason, because I had a long conversation today with, I'll just tell you who, Sean Spicer. You know what Sean Spicer told me? Sean Spicer told me the GOP is sitting on a gargantuan amount of money, a gigantic amount of money. We are 70, 71 days, something like that, away from the election, and they're not spending it. I told you my story about here in Texas. You know what Sean Spicer told me? Yeah, Jesse, same thing's happening in Michigan. Same thing's happening in North Carolina. Same thing's happening in Georgia. The GOP is sitting on truckloads of cash, and they're not spending it. People are starting to vote early, like now. If not now, it can't. Every state does it differently, but I guarantee it's starting very soon. This election is right now. Why are we not unloading all this money? What are we saving the money for?
So true, sister.
Are we saving it for 2028? What is happening? This is malpractice.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying we're going to lose the Texas Senate seat, but we might. I'll tell you this. You know what Sean Spicer told me? It's a 1-point race right now. 1 point in one of the reddest states in the country. And why wouldn't it be 1 point? Bottom is on every single TV commercial, driving a Ford truck, talking about groceries and Jesus with Pawpaw. And Ken Paxton is nowhere to be found because the GOP's not spending any money. And I'm told that that same thing is happening in Georgia, that John Ossoff is unloading money. He's all over the airwaves. GOP candidate non-existent. North Carolina non-existent. Michigan non-existent. And now I get a story that Jared Kushner is already meeting with the probable, I guess, next Speaker of the House on areas of common ground. Are we in the negotiating the surrender phase? I mean, you're going to have to forgive me, but how am I supposed to take this any other way? Why in... I'm going to be calm here.
Calm.
Why
All
in
right.
the world would we be meeting with Hakeem Jeffries
So true, sister.
2 months before the election? Hopefully, Hakeem Jeffries is still in the minority after the election. I would hope that'd be the goal. But of course, surprise, surprise, who's the one going to sit down with Hakeem Jeffries? Jared Kushner.
So, first of all, obligatory Spencer clip.
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them. You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
Normally, I would watch a clip like this if it weren't Jesse Kelly, and I would clap. Brother Kelly of the motherland, Ireland. Oh, I remember back in the day, the Kelly family would help me so much. You have reached the end of the Truman Show. My brother, why don't you take a seat and enjoy some popcorn? We've made progress. We have finally realized that the whole thing is a big game. It's a big con. But no, it's Jesse Kelly. So he's confused. How old is Jesse Kelly? We're looking at a lot of ages today. Let me see here. How old is Jesse Kelly? This is no spring chicken. Jesse Kelly, how old are you, Jesse Kelly? Jesse Kelly, I'm curious how old you are. Look at Jesse Kelly, this handsome devil over here. 45 years old. I'm with stupid. Absolutely, yeah. 45-year-old man. Born in 1981. Cognizant for the Clinton administration. An adult for Bush. An adult for Obama. An adult for Trump 1. An adult for Joe Brandon. And an adult for Trump 2. And yet here, this 45-year-old man is starting to think, maybe things aren't as they seem. Maybe things work a little differently. This is how you know that these people are like bullshitting, man. Like, this is insane. Imagine, he's literally watching the GOP do this.
He was whipping up shit in a kettle, boiling shit.
Actual shit, like
he was boiling poo in a kettle. Bro, the smell. Mike's the
he was
smell.
boiling shit.
In a kettle, bro.
In a proper kettle, bro. They're boiling shit. They have all this money they could spend. They have all these pounds, all this quid. And they're not spending it, mate. They're not spending the fucking money. First of all, he's a conservative. You know, Jesse Kelly's a conservative. My understanding is that conservatives were fans of balanced budgets, actually. Okay? He's over here. He's about to call Donald Trump the N-word.
Say the N-word. Go on.
You know, being like, why won't you spend this money? I thought that we believed in fiscal responsibility, Jesse Kelly, if you're a conservative. Maybe they're just being fiscally conservative. Haven't you ever considered that as a possibility? And good thing he remained calm, because normally Jesse Kelly would start screaming about how the communists... What is the Jesse Kelly show is Radio Rwanda, right? You turn it on and it's Jesse Kelly saying the communists have machetes. They just dropped them off at the Seattle airport. There's a box of machetes there and they're ready. They're ready to go into the countryside, the hinterland, and take our stuff. So you need to be prepared, patriots. That is the Jesse Kelly show. And it's like, brother, just when you think you can get someone, hey, yo, big guy, can you use your brain a little bit? Can you do a little bit of Truman Show? Can we? Where is it? We have something here. Where is that? We have one for that. For the end of the Truman Show. Where do we have that? Right here.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
It's all fake. You become a Baudrillardian. Baudrillardians check in. How can you keep the grift going? Because if you know it's a grift and a lie, then why don't you just go, like, not say this? But he's not saying that. He's saying, no, I'm confused. I'm a 45-year-old man. There's Vaseline coming out of my butthole. I feel a little weak. Maybe my immune system's not doing too well. What's going on? I'm confused. Well, Jesse, you might want to sit down for this, but maybe things aren't as they appear. It's the retardation of this country. Speaking of, this is from the official Twitter page of the American National Socialist Party. Let's check out what the American National, for anyone that doesn't know, the National Socialists are the Nazis, right? This is the part. LARP, sahur. That's crazy to me. The Nazi Party in the big 2026, brother. You are crazy.
Just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah, because I live in a shithole.
That's how you have to wake up if you are, dude. If you are anything that is not a liberal, you have to wake up and feel like that. And you're gonna LARP that hard. I can LARP. I can say, I like Stalin and all that stuff. I'm frustrated, but I'm not out here running the National Socialist American Workers Party Twitter page. Let's see what their policy proposals are, because they're about to get elected. Absolutely.
Imagine a life without an income tax. Imagine a life where the fruits of your labor are truly yours. Imagine being able to take an extra week off to hunt this year, buy that new truck you know you need, or get out on the water more. That doesn't have to be out of reach for you anymore. We are fighting for this world to be possible. By joining the National Socialist American Party, you will
don't join the National in case anyone needs to hear it from me, you probably shouldn't be joining the National Socialist Party of America. Let me tell you right now, that's a stupid idea. It's stupid. Okay, let's continue.
be part of a revolutionary organization dedicated to restoring America's right to decide how to use their own resources. Join us at nsaparty.org. We will end the federal income tax.
Can you believe that they put NSA in their name? Like, look at that. It's the NSA. Look, they literally wrote NSA here. They wrote, and you have to be like brain dead. Normally, I'm against entrapment, but if you're this fucking stupid, you deserve to be entrapped, actually. You're not like some poor Muslim guy who has, like, I don't know, you got dropped on your head as a kid and the FBI is giving you a plan. You're just a fucking idiot. J-Boss says, is that a real party or a meme? Asking for a friend. Do not join this party. This is so stupid. It seems like it's legit. I'm not clicking this webpage. I'm not clicking. Dude, my God, man. We are at levels. This country is just a schizophrenic country. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Look at this. Wow. Oh my God, dude. I hate it. Every day I wake up in this country and it's World War II over and over and over. No other country in the world does this. They wake up and they go, I want to talk about World War II again. I have had enough. And I just find it very funny that their big, bold plan is to abolish the income tax. Wow. That's really what they were doing in Germany in the 30s, abolishing the income tax. Like, dude, this kind of stuff. My producer said this to me, and it's true. This is why I have problems with the DSA and the Groypers and whatever this is. I have problems with them. You're welcome here if you're a member. That's fine. This Islamist version of politics, and I'm using that term denotationally because the Islamists, for anyone that's not retarded, it's not jihadists, it's the Muslim Brotherhood. And they say, hey, elect us so we can be extremists. Brother, you're an extremist and you want to be elected. Just take the thong out your pussy.
That's right, bro.
Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Eve says, whatever happened at Elon's party? Do you know or anyone? No, I have no idea what's going on there, Eves. How you doing, Adrian? How you doing, Ephra? Waiting for food rations. I agree, Ephra. I'm waiting for Ozempic rations, actually. It might be cheaper. J-Boss says, it's inevitable by the Weimar Republic book. The next chapter after transgenders and child drag queen is National Socialism. Let's clear the air here. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. From all the things we've done, from all the apples coming before. I spent the apple down symmetrical lines. So what I find is kind of scary. Makes me just want to dive. Get that out of here. What are you talking about? You know, people were like fighting in the streets before any of that happened, right? It's not I don't want this to happen because this is petty bourgeois nationalists, petty nationalists, brain rods, German. This is so silly. It's so silly. You know, I'm much more of the Stalin school, whatever. But okay, yeah. All right, yeah, definitely gonna income tax. You get the reference. Oh, yeah, man. They were all, of course, the people at Jekyll Island. That's why they did it. That's so true. J-Boss says, what's extremist about a government working for its own people? What's extremist about the National Workers' Party? I don't know. Not even talking about the other stuff. How about revanchism, capital controls? What else? Social engineering policy, de jure. Like, I think that's pretty extreme. Everyone secretly wants us to have, says J-Boss. No, I'm not counting on that. How you doing, Samojan? CCTV says CIA create these parties with some long-term plan just to entertain these people temporarily and then control the ideas later, flipping back and forth between, all right. Where is it? All right. Kufi on tight. CCTV may be a black man. He may be a hotep. J-Boss says, what's silly is voting for representatives to take care of our interests, and yet we do it. Dude, I kind of like not voting for my representatives. You don't have to, actually. You can just choose to live here and make your own way. You know, aren't you supposed to be a Nietzschean if you're a National Socialist? Where's the Nietzschean energy, you know? Someday a great reformer is going to rise. No, it's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up. Christoph won't allow it. Someday American Stalin will come in and say, hey, everyone settle down. We're going to figure this out. 5-year plan. But that's much into the future. Someday we'll have a worm for president. Let's continue. Oh, we lost one. What did we lose here? That sucks. We lost something. All right. Let's check in over here on the retards that got Trump elected. Let's check in over here. You know, I'm not saying that, listen, with Trump supporters are welcome and everything. I'm talking about the retarded people that got him elected. I want to play this fast so we don't get copyright stricken. This is Jelly Roll. For anyone that doesn't know who Jelly Roll is, let me present to you Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, I'm aware of Jelly Roll because if I'm not mistaken, Jelly Roll is an obese drug addict who does rap music, okay? And country rap music. It's real views from the hood. No, views from the gutter. Okay. And recently he started GLP-1s. So he's looking great. You know, good for him. You know, you'd look a lot better if you hadn't got all the stupid scribbles on your face. Whatever. Listen, we have people in the chat that have face tattoos. That's fine by me. You know, it's not my personal decision. He played a big part in getting Trump elected. Well, not a big part, but he played a part in it. What is he doing now? He's hosting Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see what he's saying about Trump here. Let's check this out.
According to the Washington Post, a lot of doctors are worried about the president's weight. After his last physical, we found out Trump gained 14 pounds, which means he's now tipping the scales at almost 240. It's crazy. Think about this, y'all. In the last few years, I've lost 300 pounds.
That's not impressive anymore. It's not impressive. Yeah, dude, you lost 300 pounds. You lost 300 pounds. Okay, yeah, dude, you took Ozempic. You know, I have nothing against it, but we're gonna do the Oprah shit from the 90s of clapping. No, dude, it's okay. Just say, hey, I did this. Don't clap.
That means I've lost an entire Donald Trump. And let's be honest, based on his approval ratings, it seems like most of the country wants to do the same thing.
You did this. You got him elected. You said, if I recall what Jelly Roll said, was that we needed to elect Donald Trump so that we could stop fentanyl. Let me ask Gemini, actually. Let's ask Gemini here, because we took care of Venezuela. Is there less fentanyl in America now? I'm actually curious. I'm not even being rhetorical. Let's figure this out here together. Is there less fentanyl in the U.S. now versus when Trump was first elected? What's up, Audio Vibes? No. There is significantly more fentanyl in the U.S. So you told me, Jelly Roll, that I had to elect Donald Trump because he was going to get rid of fentanyl. Donald Trump bombed a bunch of Venezuelans, you know, and I'm not sticking up for Venezuelan drug dealers here, okay? I don't want anyone to get mad at me right now and send me back.
For fuck's sake, put him on the next flight to Venezuela.
Let's chill out, okay? But all I'm saying is that's the reason you said we had to elect him. And now you're on the Jimmy Kimmel show guest hosting saying that Donald Trump is bad. What's going on? What is this? What? These
fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
The Joe Rogans, the Jelly Rolls, the Theo Vaughns. Guys are retarded, man. You're retarded. I can't wait for things to shift, and then people want to hear from people who actually are experts. You know, we talked about the death of expertise in the 2010s. How about we bring it back, actually? I don't want to hear from Jelly Roll about drug policy, okay? I want to hear from an autistic Portuguese guy who got rid of drug problems over there, because they did that, okay? I don't want to hear from Jelly Roll, the fat drug addict that is going to tell me how we get rid of drugs. Just because you use drugs doesn't make you an expert. Just because you use drugs and you watch Traffic one too many times doesn't make you an expert, okay? I wish watching Sicario 2 made me an expert on drug policy, but I'm not, okay? Let's continue. Let's check in on Al Sayed. Al Sayed here. This is a very interesting thing here.
And we owe the reparations of recognizing that this country was built on uncompensated labor of enslaved people. I believe we owe it to engage in reparations. There are so many ways in which we need to have a conversation about reparations. We need to invest in reparations. We need reparations in this country.
All right. First of all, this is very funny because I have Myron Gaines over here channeling his Arab genes, saying we need to enslave black people. He said it, not me. He's saying that on his show, okay? And over here, we have another Arab, El Sayed, saying we need to pay reparations. I have never heard that from an Arab guy. Very interesting turn. And I actually completely agree. I have been pro reparations for at least like 10 years of my life. When I first heard of reparations, I was like, that's a little bit silly. You know, it's been so long. But, you know, as I've said before, probably, I don't know. I think that black people deserve reparations. I also think that white people deserve reparations. and the Hispanics and the Chinese and the Japanese, we all deserve a little reparations, actually. Because it seems like every couple of years we get reparations. We actually do get reparations. We just call them liquidity, and they're given to the banks. Maybe it's time that we get some reparations over here. There's a lot of uncompensated labor that was used to build America. A lot of white people did that, okay? A lot of black people, a lot of Italians, a lot of Arabs, a lot of Chinese. We need these reparations now. And if you're like, I disagree politically with that, KL, I don't like that. Well, you probably don't like the dollar and how it's being devalued. So don't you want to speed run it? I'm the kind of guy, I like to get to the end of the movie, okay? I like to get in 2026, I'm not sitting through Obsession. I'm going to put that shit on 3-speed and we're going to get through it. Let's get to the end of the movie. This little baby steps thing, let's rip off the Band-Aid. Let's get over it, okay? J-Boss says, I want reparations account from the Italians and their Julius Caesar genociding of us. You know, the dying Gaul, you know, I feel like that's such a beautiful piece of artwork that you already got your reparations. You're really going to ask an Italian for money. Have you seen how much money they have? They have nothing. Well, they have gold reserves. You want to borrow gold? Fuck it, man. Let's do it. Let's redistribute the wealth. Efra says, whatever happened to the Cartel de los Soles? Did they suddenly disappear? They didn't disappear. We're now working with them. We are now friends with El Cartel de los Soles because Diosdado Cabello, who is wanted, is working with the American ambassador and the CIA in Venezuela right now. So I literally have no idea what happened to them. No idea. Eve says, damn, I told you, genius, rep for the labor. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right. Let's continue. This is the Japanese ambassador to Germany. Let's see what he tweeted today. This is very interesting. After visiting Auschwitz-Birkenau, this is the Nazi death camp in Poland, I feel a profound duty to remember. Oh, no, he's the ambassador to Israel, and pass on the memory of the Holocaust victims to the world and future generations. Ambassador Arai. The reason I want to show this here is let's look at his pictures, okay? This is his pictures here. You know, this is a very tragic place. You see here, work will make you free. I think the original was stolen, actually, you know?
Original, no.
Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I think we can all relate to this. Whether it's in Auschwitz or anywhere else, you never know how to take a picture at this kind of place. You try to go for the somber move. You hit the pose with your hands behind your back, grabbing one wrist with the other hand. This has happened to me before. I've been to some places. Where have I been? When I went to Trotsky's grave, I was grinning ear to ear in Mexico. That was awesome. Okay. But, you know, then you go somewhere serious. You go somewhere, you know, you go to the Museum of the Disappeared in Santiago, Chile, and you're like, I got to take a picture, right? And you're like, what face do I make? I've never thought of this face. This face is like half surprise, half confusion. You never know what face to make at this kind of place. I think we should actually talk about this. Like, we need to have a discussion about what's the appropriate way of taking pictures. I remember when I was a kid, Justin Bieber got in trouble for writing that Anne Frank would have been a believer in the Anne Frank Museum. But I think that we need to figure out how to do this. You know, I went in El Salvador to a killing field where during the Civil War. And I was I need a picture here. And I was, how do I do this respectfully? How do I take this picture? So this is the Japanese solution. How do you make this face? It's kind of like, are his eyebrows? It's one's higher than the other. It's kind of like, I think that the Ministry of Culture of the world needs to like figure out a way to solve this, because I need to know how to do it. I can't figure it out on my own. It's too difficult. You always want to take a picture and you're like, how do I do that? J-Bot. All right, we're not talking about all that. We're not talking about all that. We're not talking about that. We can't be talking about that.
Shut up! Be quiet before you get exiled.
We can't be talking about that on here. All right. We don't talk about World War II on this channel in detail. What would be the point of that? Okay. We can talk about the 5-year plan. We're not talking about World War II. The YouTube doesn't like that. Not worth it. All right. Let's watch over here. This is John Kiriakou. Onk Kiriakou, one of my favorites. Where is it? Where is it? Right here.
I can have dinner with anybody I want, and I'm not asking Benjamin Netanyahu's permission to do it.
The greatest storyteller of our time. You know, we talked about KSM. This is what he was he was asking these kinds of questions at the CIA.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
And today, he's really tripling down on the Israel thing. And, you know, Unc found a good story. We're going to the roof, okay? Let's see what he has to say here to Michael Franchese, who I'll remind you is a criminal and a scammer who, you know, oh, I was in the mafia. Listen to me, because I know, you know how to scam people, dude. You should go open a call center. Let's see what he has to say here to Michael Franchese.
So I have a friend who is close to the president, and I said to him at the time that the documents were released, about a year ago, I said, thank God that the president finally released the remaining documents. And he said, no, he didn't. I said, yeah, he did. He was compelled by law. Congress passed a law twice compelling the president to release all documents related to the Kennedy assassination. He said, there are 10,000 documents that are never going to be released. And I said, why? Wow. And he said, because every single one of them points directly at Israel. And I said, oh man, that's not one that I was thinking of. He says that the Israelis were so angry that A, John Kennedy wouldn't give them nuclear technology, but more importantly, B, he was actively trying to disrupt the Israelis from acquiring nuclear technology, and they decided they had to take him out.
Is this hearsay? My friend's buddy told me. Is that hearsay? I think that's hearsay in court. Why is the former mafia boss, who wouldn't answer the question if he's ever killed someone, to Patrick Bet-David, even talking about this? Who's tuning into the Michael Franchese show to find out who killed JFK? I don't care. I did for a long time. I used to care about who killed JFK. I used to be like, we need to know who killed JFK. I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's over. JFK, you know, he was killed. It was Mr. Mustard with the wrench in the plum room. That's who killed JFK. Can we ever talk about right now in the country? Because it seems like people want to talk about JFK and COINTELPRO and World War II and the Civil War, but they never want to talk about is right now so boring? I feel like there's stuff going on right now that we can talk about. We're always talking about the past. Dude, being an American and speaking to other Americans is like talking to like an ex-girlfriend. You know, you're like, why are you always bringing up old shit, bitch? God damn. Like, yeah, I remember you pre-op, my beautiful transgender girlfriend. Why are we talking about old shit? Oh, I was embarrassed to be seen with. It's fine. We're here now. It's always the same thing. We can't live in the now. That's why this country is going off the rails. Speaking of going off the rails, let's check in on Governor Maxing. This is J.B. Pritzker. The former governor of Illinois, or the current, I don't know. Does it even matter who the governor of Illinois is? He doesn't have a food show like my governor. What is he releasing for his people? When you're in an aura farming contest and your opponent is JB, time. One more time.
Technically, according to the strict law of the Torah, not one Gentile in the world deserves to live.
They are graping our country right now. Fill in the blank for they, whatever you want. If you hate Trump, it's MAGA. If you hate the Democrats, it's Zohran. They're graping our country right now. And a governor is releasing the aura farming video. I act like I'm a victim, all the time. I have a victim mentality being in Florida, because I have the worst governor in America here. But look at the other governors. You're aura farming. You're fat, actually. You are fat. You're not aura farming. You're farming soy. That's what you're farming. You're eating all the soy. Farming, you haven't done a day of physical labor. What are you farming? Nasty bitch. This is what it's like to live in America now. Okay. All right. I need everyone to chill out in that chat.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Yeah, it's bad for the algorithm. Everyone's welcome here, but let's have some decorum, all right? Also, it can spook some people here that don't agree with you, all right? Let's chill out in the chat, okay? All right. Well, let's watch this here. We'll save that for tomorrow. This is Kathy Griffin, who, if you remember, during the first Trump term, held up a severed plastic head of Donald Trump like she was in ISIS for a photo shoot, and she got canceled. I think correctly. One of my favorite Kanye moments. Where is it? Where is it?
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
One of my favorite moments that Kanye ever had was because Kanye is a very sensitive guy. He's a sensitive guy, okay? He's very funny and everything, but he's a sensitive guy, okay? And, he's arrogant.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Well, I remember maybe 2 years ago, he was being interviewed and he said, I want to apologize for saying that George Bush didn't care about black people, because I feel like I destroyed the decorum in America doing that. Now, I would disagree. I like most of what Kanye's done, probably like 99% of it. The new album's not so much. And I think he was right to say that at the time. You got to watch the Katrina documentary Spike Lee did. It's amazing. And it was true that George Bush didn't care about black people. Because George Bush didn't care about anyone. He didn't care about black people. He didn't care about white people. He didn't care about Hispanic people. He didn't care about anyone except for the Skull and Bones Society, okay? And I feel like he thinks that led to this kind of behavior. Now, let's see what self-reflection we get from Kathy Griffin for doing something disgusting here. Here she's being interviewed by one of these TikToker Jubilee guys.
There is a chilling effect that happens when Donald Trump targets every media company, every single law firm that disagrees with him. People don't want to take the opposing side. That's fascism. It's silencing people.
Well, I actually was a victim of that myself in 2017 when I released a controversial photo that I thought everyone else would agree with me. And I was very, very wrong. But in my career, I'm 65 now, I'd never seen anything like that. And now it's become kind of normalized.
Really, Kathy? I don't really understand this. Really, Kathy? This wasn't like last year. This was when ISIS was real. Okay, if it was ever real, if we want to get into those theories. Where is it? That was when ISIS was real, okay? He gets up and holds up a severed, bloody head of the president and shows it to the audience, says, look at this. Really, Kathy, you don't see anything you don't see how that was inappropriate? You still, after all these years, have no idea how that could have been considered inappropriate by someone? I thought it was pretty inappropriate personally. I thought that was inappropriate. I didn't like it. And no reflection, nothing. Unrepentance. J-Boss says, is she Asian now? I don't know. How old is Kathy Griffin? Let me look her up. Let's learn a little bit about Kathy Griffin real quick. Kathy Griffin. She's still touring. Wow. If you were watching the Kathy Griffin show, you are an idiot. How old is she? She's 65 years old. Where is this? Let me see this here. Does she have any kids? Dead air. Does she have any kids? Yo, she dated Steve Wozniak? That's crazy. No, I don't think she has any kids. No reflection, nothing, really, nothing. You didn't learn anything from the experience, nothing. All right, let's get to the next segment. This country's going insane, man.
The people are retarded.
We have a lot to get through on this segment here tonight, okay? Firstly, we have a couple of like in-depth stories, okay? Firstly, I wanted to show you this. This is the Washington Post. Yeah, perfect. We're going to start here. The Washington Post opinion, or like, what is this? Like Dear John, like those letters that you write to the editor for advice. Let's see what the normies are writing in. Let's see what they're writing in to people to get advice on.
My daughter is in a polyamorous relationship with a married couple who are trying to have a baby. She plans to adopt the baby as a third parent. I don't like the man, and I'm worried for her. Should I intervene? No. I certainly hope your daughter is an adult. One of the hardest things to do as a parent is to watch a child make choices you wouldn't make. But that's the job. It's not your life.
Just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole!
What are the normies What are the normies asking for advice on?
My daughter is in a polyamorous relationship with a married couple who are trying to have a baby. She plans to adopt the baby as a third parent. I don't like the man, and I'm worried for her.
The problem is you don't like the man? That's the problem here?
Should I intervene? No. I certainly hope your daughter is an adult. One of the hardest things to do as a parent is to watch a child make choices you wouldn't make. But that's the job. It's not your life.
I don't even know what to say there. These people walk around. They're at the grocery store with you. They're casting votes. They're on boats. What are you talking about? It's not your life. Yeah, I mean, look, it's probably like Nietzschean or something to do this. I don't know. This is how we're doing it. It's not your life. It's kind of your daughter. It's kind of your grandkid, actually. But notice what the normie is opposed to. It's not the situation. It's just, I don't like the man. So if she were with the lady with the kid and she were going to adopt the kid and be a third parent, if it was another man, would it be okay? Like, these people are crazy, man. Speaking of crazy people, I've been wanting to get to this story. This is a Cuban influencer out of Miami who got pretty famous recently because this is interesting. Okay, we're gonna watch this here. She put out this video here with her daughter. Let's see this here.
No llores. Mírame, los miedos que estás sintiendo hoy van a ser tu fuerza mañana. Porque tú eres mi hija.
So in Spanish, she's saying the fear you feel today is gonna be the strength you have tomorrow.
Okay, ven acá. Mírame a mí. Mírame a mí. Mírame. Quema un poquito ya después pasa. Ok, no te lo voy a hacer. Como todo en la vida. Todo en la vida duele un poquito. Mira, Dale un ratito, pero ya después pasa, mira. Mira, no pasa nada, mira.
So she's explaining to her daughter how pouring hot candle wax on her is good.
No te va a quemar. No te va a quemar, mira. Mira, tú viste que mamá se quemó aquí, mira, y no pasó nada. No puedes tener miedo. Prométeme que tú no vas a tener miedo a nada. A nada. ¿Eso quema? Ok, ven, ¿quieres probarlo? Mira. Ya. ¿Ok? Pasó. Ya pasó. Ya. Ya pasó. Tú eres mi hija. ¿Ok? Mírame. A ti nada ni nadie te va a poder hacer daño. Nada ni nadie. Me las toca a ustedes. ¿Ok? No te sea llamando.
Okay, so my understanding of this wax thing is that it's usually sexual. Like you do this. I've seen it in The Wolf of Wall Street. I've never partaken in pouring hot wax on other people or myself. Maybe it's just not my thing. Maybe I'm a little bourgeois on that one. And then she proceeded to do this.
Escucha. Lo que ninguno de ustedes ha sabido ganar. Salimos de la calle del gato y el respeto ni plantamos. En la disco está durando la paca y el que no le...
We don't need to listen to that reggaeton. Let's just see what she's doing here. All right. This is going to end well, obviously. She's in her apartment in Miami, and she is pouring hot candle wax on herself. I'm sure someone's into this somewhere. And she's holding a lighter. Now she's twerking for us. Okay. What's going to happen here? What is this? Well, let's see. I'm very curious. Okay, we have a little show. Interesting. All right. This is the build-up. Okay. It's dancing for us. Beautiful. Amazing. All right. But what are we working up to here? You know, you think this is like a regular video, a regular OF type thing. She's rapping to the reggaeton music. What is going to happen here? Anyone have any guesses as to what she's going to end up doing here? Okay, that's lighter fluid being poured on the clothing she was holding earlier. Inside of her apartment. Okay. And now she's holding a lighter. Okay, she's holding a lighter. Oh, okay. And she set it on fire. I'm sure that smells terrible. And she threw a mug at it. She threw a mug at it. Okay. The fire is still going. This is really, you know, if she were in Cuba, she wouldn't be doing this. This is really like the TikTok disease of the United States. It's still burning in the background. Landlords hate this woman. Shaking ass while there's a fire behind you. Okay. She ended up setting the apartment on fire. Okay. That's her little dance. The apartment caught on fire. Okay. Now, my first question is, and we're going to get to the follow-up because it has since happened, is does no one fear Child Protective Services anymore? People are just posting their children being burned with wax. Like, isn't that what British aristocrats do to their children? Like, come here, Timmy. I must burn you with this cigarette so you learn. Like that is very Downtown Abbey behavior. Why would you post that online? Let's see what the chat's saying before we get to the follow-up. That first says, even if you dislike a certain group, it's not effective to insult who you disagree with. A better way is to build a coherent argument. Insulting someone is counterproductive. I wouldn't even build the argument effort, but I do agree that ad hominems, they're just fun, right? They're not an actual way of going forward. J-Boss says, bad slurred Spanish. Dude, that's just a Cuban accent. Her Spanish is disgusting. Dude, that's from the Canary Islands. The Cubans literally sound like Canarians. So that's the motherland that did that. Eve says, get her on the show. I'll take the assignment. Give me, all right. I want to find out if she's a landlord. Okay. So let's see what happened here. Here she is in court. Let's see if I have to translate this here. I can translate it for you if I have to.
Apenas días después de su arresto, Melissa Campos Sánchez volvió hoy frente a un juez.
Melissa Campos Sanchez, just a few days after her arrest, finds herself in front of a judge.
La madre de 26 años enfrenta cargos de incendio provocado en primer grado.
The 26-year-old mother faces first-degree arson charges.
Abuso y negligencia infantil. Esto después de que ella misma publicara en sus redes sociales estos inquietantes videos.
This is after she published on her own social media these disturbing videos.
En uno, derrama cera caliente sobre su cuerpo.
In one, she pours hot wax on herself and tries to do it to her daughter.
Intenta hacerlo con su hija mayor que se resiste y luego sobre la mano de la más pequeña.
Her older daughter resists, but her other one gets the wax poured on her.
De 3 años.
3 years old.
En los días previos a esto, Melissa también había publicado videos en los que hablaba de problemas con su esposo.
Days before, she had published videos that she was having problems with her husband.
Pero hoy su esposo dio una versión diferente.
But today her husband had a different version of events.
Nunca hemos tenido problemas. Es que ella está mal mentalmente.
We've never had problems. She's just crazy.
Es lo que nunca me ayudaron nadie.
Él asegura que
no one ever helped me with this.
Intentó conseguir ayuda en varias ocasiones y que incluso llamó 3 veces a la policía.
Says I tried to find help several times. I called the police 3 times.
Me decían que hasta que no hubiera un delito no la podían llevar.
Until there is a crime, there was nothing that they would do.
No podían hacer nada. Y el psiquiatra me dijo lo mismo.
And the psychiatrist said the same thing.
Que hasta que ella no viniera por voluntad propia, él no podía internarla.
If she did not voluntarily turn herself in, he could not commit her.
Su familia presente hoy insiste en que ella venía atravesando problemas de salud mental.
Her family says that she had been struggling with her mental health.
Que le habían recetado medicamentos pero que paró de tomarlos.
That she had been prescribed medication but had refused to take them.
Y piden que no sea juzgada solo por estas imágenes.
And hope that she is not judged purely by these videos.
Y hay muchas mujeres testificando también que es muy buena mujer, que es muy buena madre y que en su sano juicio.
So this is her cousin saying there's a lot of women that are testifying that she's a good woman. And when she's in a right man, or her right mind, she wouldn't do this.
Ella no hubiera hecho esto.
En cuanto a las niñas, el papá dijo están con él y que están bien. Y
as far as her daughters, they're with the father and they're okay.
Ahora Melissa enfrenta también un problema migratorio.
And now Melissa is facing a migratory problem because DHS,
el Departamento de Seguridad Nacional, informó hoy que ICE emitió una orden de retención para que no sea liberada de la cárcel.
ICE has issued an order that she's not liberated from jail.
Y que buscarán deportarla tan pronto enfrente el proceso penal.
And they're going to try to deport her as soon as the legal process is done.
En su caso, hoy la jueza ordenó que Melissa sea evaluada por 2 médicos de habla hispana.
Today, the judge said she has to be evaluated by 2 Spanish-speaking doctors.
Melissa volverá a la corte el próximo 11 de septiembre. Para ese día se espera ya estén los resultados de las evaluaciones médicas.
She's expected in court on September 11th, and at that point, we will have medical evaluation.
Las cuales deben definir si está mentalmente competente.
Which will define if she is mentally competent for trial.
Desde la corte en Miami, Ana Vargas,
From Miami, Ana Vargas. And as you saw, she's laughing. It's like the Joker movie, right? You're burning your kids with hot candle wax and setting your apartment on fire, and you're laughing? You think it's funny? I'm telling, you're telling me, listen, they shouldn't deport her. I mean, honestly, this could be a secret plan to liberate Cuba. You send someone that crazy, it's like sending Lenin to Russia. She's going to go down there and start a revolution. I don't know what's going... Look, man, I'm very critical of the men, but I'm very critical of the ladies these days as well, because we're living through a time of insanity. It's just insane. And this is someone who got caught. And whether you're crazy or not, I'm really starting to doubt the insanity defense. Even if you're crazy, if you're setting your apartment on fire and pouring hot candle wax on your children, how are you not immediately put in prison for life? How are you immediately not? How do they not dip you in hot wax? That's what would be just in this situation. That's crazy. J-Boss says Canary Island's not the motherland. Oh, I think a bunch of Moroccans are happy to hear you say that, sir. Actually, J-Boss says you're interpreting his time. I try. Efra says, do you think she will get a GoFundMe? Let's check it out. What's her name? Melissa Campos Sanchez. Let's see if she has a GoFundMe. Efra with the good questions. Let's check this out. Let's learn together. TikTok fundraise. No. On her little, let me see this here. Facebook. What's going on here? I don't see one. I think it's pretty egregious. Someone's asking, will they start a GoFundMe? No, not this. Let me see if Give, Send, Go. Does she have a Give, Send, Go? Give, Send, Go. No Give, Send, Go. No GoFundMe just yet. I guess we'll see. 26-year-old mother of 2 endangering the lives of children. How amazing. Amazing. They're trying to Jesse Lee Peterson her, man.
Why are you in our country? You need to go back.
You need to go back. All right. We were looking at this young black man the other day reading Nietzsche, and I wanted to give you an update because he's given us an update as to what he's taking away from the philosophy. Let's watch this here.
Man, check this out. I just got done working out. Anyways, a couple days ago, I posted a video about their book, Beyond Good and Evil by Nietzsche. And it got some love. And I was talking about how few pages into the book, I didn't understand what I was reading about. And people in the comments suggested that I found something light, something that I can understand. And I have decided to take the advice. It's a great advice. But I'm still going to read Nietzsche. I like Nietzsche. Nietzsche is not your typical regular philosopher. And when I was reading Beyond Good and Evil, even though I didn't understand most of the things I was reading, I managed to pick up a few good ideas. And one of his ideas was that there is no the truth. There is no, this is the way to do things. You should do this and that. What he said was, we are constantly changing our ideas. And based on my experience, I can relate to that. I have changed my ideas many, many times, and I'm still changing my ideas. And when you change your ideas, your realities, they change as well. So I have decided to pick up Nietzsche's work, something light, something I can understand. So you guys, what do you guys think that I should read? That I should start with in order to understand his...
Thus spoke Zarathustra is always the answer.
His work, his books. Drop it in a comment.
This is making me reconsider if literacy was a mistake. Like this man, he should actually be running a Fortune 500 company. I'm not being ironic. I don't know if anyone here knows Maj Toure. He's one of he's been less active these days, but he founded Black Guns Matter. Okay. And one thing that I really liked about him, because I've always been a big Malcolm X fan myself. I love Malcolm X, because I don't have the slave mentality.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
I'm a free man.
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
And Maj Toure helped me understand why I love Malcolm X. Because he said the reason he's such a fan of Malcolm is because Brother Malcolm, in the autobiography, changes his mind like 30 times. He is someone who is able to change his mind and his lifestyle repeatedly without shame, without being made to feel stupid, which is a problem that I think 99% of people have. I'm willing to change my mind at any moment. Any moment. If you come to me with the right evidence, I mean that sincerely. I will I will consider what you have to say. And this man here is saying that he is the same way. And I appreciate that. I really do. If we could all come to this, if we could all admit that we changed. You're ever in an argument with someone and you know you won, but they're still arguing. And you know they don't believe what they're saying anymore. Sometimes they're just trolling you, right? But there is something there is some beauty in being able to change your mind. You know, not to be too Steven Crowder, hashtag change my mind. But sometimes we do change our mind. And I always appreciate someone who is willing to say, I'm willing to change my mind. Now, if you do it too much, you end up being Tucker Carlson. But if you do it deliberately, it's fascinating. I appreciate that. I appreciate this, man. I appreciate it. Speaking of, returning to the topic of the ladies, I'm going to make some videos about ladies pretty soon. Let's check this out over here. Let's check in on the status of relationships in America.
I take one look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down to a dead and buried.
150 plus 85. Hang on, let's make sure we get the math right. I could do it in my head, but let's use the computer really quick. Calculator. 150 plus 85. That's 235 pounds. Let's put that in communist units for the Europeans. That's 106 kgs. Why are you... The mediocrity of the normie is so disgusting. My husband married me at 150, but I thought he deserved more, so I gained 85 pounds more. The grammar is incorrect, as you'd expect from the normie. But why are you proud of this? The valorization of mediocrity is really a problem these days, where people like the mediocre. People like to dress like crap. They like their bodies to look like crap. They don't mind it. Why would you post this? Why would you embarrass your husband this way? You know, at some point, this is going to happen on the other end, where husbands are going to be like, she married me when I was sober. Now I'm on heroin. Why would you do this? We're not right in the head in this country, man. We're not right in the head. We're not right in the head. We're not right in the head. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's check in on my Hispanic sister over here, my Latina sister over here. Now, you may disagree with what she has to say here because she's part of Turning Point USA. And then we're going to do a little Kirk watch. Okay? But let's just listen to what a Hispanic sister has to say. When a Hispanic woman opens her mouth, you sit your ass down and listen, okay? Whether it's Nick Fuentes or Marco Rubio or Dalla Riza or Elise or any of these people, when a Hispanic woman speaks, I listen. Let's check out what she has to say here.
Latino does not equal Democrat. Latinos don't care about our current sorry excuse for a governor putting up pride flags on the state capitol or wanting boys and girls bathrooms and sports. They care about being able to afford to live here and their families being safe. And that's why we need to elect Andy Biggs and get this Democrat socialist leadership out of our cities and our state.
You know, it's basic bitch talking points, you know, but like, what do you expect? You know, it's a young girl, Natalia Escamilla. Where are you from, Natalia Escamilla? I want to know. Where is she from? Let's see this one over here. Let's see her. You know, if it were a white man saying this, you wouldn't have a problem.
Just because you're Latino does not automatically mean you're a Democrat. When my grandparents immigrated here 20 years ago when I was about a year old, they were told that they were Democrats, that they could not be Republicans because that would be going against their values, it would be going against their race. When I started becoming more involved in politics and being able to explain it to them in Spanish and just telling them that their Catholic values align with being a traditional conservative, and they align with family, and they align with wanting the best for their grandkids as they're growing up. They are now going to vote for Andy Biggs because they want their grandkids to be able to go to Catholic school. They want 0% income tax, and they want all of us to live the American dream here in Tucson, Arizona.
See, my problem with this isn't really what she's saying, right? This is just a young Latina sister speaking her mind, okay? If it were Greta Thunberg, you wouldn't have a problem with it, okay? That's why you have a problem with it, okay? All right. If she was white, you wouldn't have a problem. My problem with it is this. How old is she? She's like 15. She's like 15 years old. Brother, 15-year-olds are supposed to be smoking pot, tagging buildings, having fun. But this is what we're doing now. You know, this is the legacy of Carlito Kirk. Maybe I heard that Charlie Kirk had some Guatemalan in him. I heard that's why his head was shaped that way. Carlito Kirk's legacy is making, imagine, because she says she learned Spanish, which is admirable, but she didn't learn Spanish to communicate some culture from her grandparents to her, to stay with la cultura, to be part of a culture. She learned it to explain basic bitch Republican talking points to her grandparents. I mean, come on, man. Come on, Jack. Come on. It can't be this way. It can't. Speaking of, let's get a little Kirk watch in, because the Kirk anniversary is coming up, and we haven't done Kirk watch in a while. It's also Jeff watch. Let's do Jeff watch.
Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein.
Molly my bean, Molly my bean, Molly my bean, Molly my bean.
We got to do the Kirk watch intro too.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name.
Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirky. Let's play that actually. Hang on one second. Let me pull that up. I like that. That song is funny. Where is it? It's Charlie's Boneyard song. Let me find that again. That's my favorite one. We'll just play the ending. It's good. I've been seeing people lately, because we have the anniversary coming up of the death of Charlie Kirk, the tragic death. Not making fun of that. And people are they're starting to say that he died at the wrong time, that he's being disrespected. But I want to show you that this still is going on. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Charlie Kirky. I spot the perky. Charlie Kirky. Charlie Kirky. Charlie Kirk, man, he just popped the perk. Then he fucking died in Utah, man. I'm tweaking. What the fuck is going on, man? What are you doing right now? What you doing this weekend? Trying to get you in the farm tonight. Trying to get you to milk that cow just right. Milk that cow and put his nut in. Push my buttons. Charlie Kirky.
That was my favorite one, okay? But the reason we're talking about this is because the Kirkversary, as it's being deemed, is on September 10th, 1 year anniversary of his death. And as I said from the beginning, no, probably from 2 weeks in, I was the only one who loved Charlie Kirk. It was me and Candace Owens, my producer. We were the only ones who saw that he was an abused young man, taken advantage of his whole life. And at least he died doing what he loved, but I think he could have loved something else. And the anniversary is coming up, and people are saying that he's being made fun of, that it's not fair to treat him this way. And I really have to reiterate, guys, he is the first human being to ascend into perpetuity. A perpetuity is impossible. your great grandkids will know who Charlie Kirk is, at least some version of him, because of this. So we're going to watch some of this to prepare for the Kirkversary, because that's coming up. And we're going to see, all right? Simosian says, this is the issue. Politics affects us all, regardless of what we care about. So my only question is, her life better now than almost 2 years? She's a kid, brother. She's a kid. Can't talk to politics with a kid. Leave him alone. That's just my view. I don't believe in arguing politics with a kid. 15 years old. What do you know of him? At 15, all I knew was Lil Uzi Vert, Algebra 2. No, I was kind of autistic. I was into like MK Ultra and stuff. But you know, I'm not arguing with a kid about politics. Let them do their thing. I just rather they be smoking dope and having fun, you know, stealing cars or whatever. So Moses says, my question is that we know Charlie Kirk's killer. Why don't we have anything from the multiple Trump assassins? We should do a show about that. The Butler thing, I am very suspicious of these days. I completely agree. Let's see some Kirk watch here. We haven't done this in a while.
I'm Charlie Kirk. Okay, hello. Charlie Kirk?
I just wonder, for the people saying that this is bad, that you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, that Charlie Kirk wouldn't like this. I wonder, because one of the things that I used to hear growing up when Kim Kardashian had her tape leaked and all this is they would say, think of your children. What are your children going to think of this? If Charlie Kirk's children, and I mean this sincerely, you know, they see this and they understand the legacy of their father, and they know that in life, he united some people. He brought some people to Christ, which is important to them. But he did cause some derision. You know, he did cause debates to go mainstream in America. Imagine if in death, your father brought more joy to the planet, kept the AI bubble afloat for years and years and years. You know, are they going to say that about your dad? I doubt it. That I don't see how you could be angry at this if you're his kids. Now, if your mom is an OF model and you have kids, you might have some conflicts about that. But to know that your father in death brought people more joy than in life, that's, you know, not to blaspheme, man, but not a lot of people have done that. You know, that's like Jesus. I'm not saying Charlie Kirk is Jesus or anything. That's like George Washington tier. This is a guy who he's bringing people joy after they die on an international level. Let's see some more. This one here, this one's great. This is they edited his face onto a real video here. I like to see these.
What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
When you're editing, because the first one we saw is completely AI generated. This is a famous meme video. When you're editing people onto it, you are implicitly saying that they are more entertaining than the person who made the video. If someone made an edit of the KL show with Charlie Kirk doing it, that would be an admission that I am not as good as him. And I would take that in stride. I would say, you know, I don't have the talent. I don't have the Charlie Kirk talent. How could you be mad at this? Let's continue. This one here was pretty good. This one, let's play both of these here, okay? This is quote tweeting this here. This is him with Russell Brand, the greatest grifter to ever live.
I lose my voice at these events because I speak 14 hours a day.
You fight it off with lozenges.
Well, no, the lozenges lubricate the throat.
Yeah. What I'm supposed to do. My chopper is go do. Come here.
I lose my voice.
Is it even offensive? They're having, if Charlie were here, I'm sure he would find it funny. Quite honestly, I think he would find it funny. You know, Charlie wasn't a guy with a big ego, from what I understand. He was a guy that went around college campuses willing to make himself small to make other people feel big. I don't think he'd have a problem with it. I really don't. Let's see this here. This is him being edited into Project X, the movie.
What up, my lovely females? This is your boy Costa, your host for the evening. Today is the Kirk anniversary, and this is Project Kirk. Yo.
What I'm supposed to do. My chopper is gonna do. Come here.
I think there's something really poetic with Project X, one of the most important movies of the 2010s, about a party, having Charlie Kirk here. This, I'm telling you, man, we need to, hang on, where are the lyrics? Hang on, let me find this real quick. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that debate used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people debate. And maybe they'd be happy for a while. This, you are saying that Charlie Kirk, it was the party. He made America fun. And we can have as much fun as we want with AI. But you are saying here that with Charlie gone, things will never be the same. That he was the party. He was America. He was fun. And when we're looking forward to the anniversary of when he left this plane, you know, when people are looking forward to it so they can bring out their best Charlie Kirk memes, that means that he's still keeping the party alive. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is not simple stuff, okay? Not simple. This one will play another. This one here is great. This one is Charlie Kirk talking to Travis Scott Charlie Kirk.
I'm Charlie Kirk. Okay, hello. Charlie Kirk?
Riggards! Think of the significance here. This was a tragedy, the Astroworld tragedy. People died during it. And in death, Charlie Kirk is able to bring levity to that situation. It's a meme. It's funny. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. All right. That's enough Kirk watch. Not a lot of people can do that. I hope that that's my legacy, to be honest, man. If I get a tenth of what Charlie Kirk got, even 3%, 1%, half of 1% of what Charlie Kirk got in death, I'll know that I have brought people joy in this plane. And that's what it's all about. It's about bringing people joy. That's what it's all about. Let's move on to our story.
Are you a communist?
No, I am not. I don't think that we should have billionaires. No, I call myself a democratic socialist. No, I have many critiques of capitalism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. What I'm focused on is making the city affordable for everyone, not to win an ideological argument.
Let's check in on Donald Trump's favorite little communist, Zohran Mamdani. What is Zohran Mamdani doing in New York? What is he doing here? Let's check this out. What's the big plan here? No free buses yet, but some of the grocery stores are opening up.
998, 999, 1,000. New York, we're dropping 1,000 discounted tickets to the U.S. Open tomorrow at 10 a.m. $100 a pop. First come, first serve. Because tennis should be for everyone.
So, Zohran Mamdani, I've never played tennis with this kind of racket. Is this a tennis racket? It's a weird tennis racket. What kind is it? It's a Wilson racket. Is that a tennis racket? What is that? I don't know. He is dropping tickets for the people. Let's check out the website. The event has ended. We can't even look at the website. Damn. It has just Ended. Okay. Well, earlier in the day, you could go on this website to experience the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open is a huge event in tennis, and Zohran Mamdani was able to negotiate with the U.S. Open to get 1,000 tickets discounted to $100 a piece, which some of you might say, $100, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of fucking money.
I mean, it's $100. That's what you spend at Chipotle these days. He is bringing communism to tennis. Tennis, I bring the U.S. Open to you, the people. Interesting. I gotta say, this is more than any mayor Miami's ever done for me. $100 to go to the U.S. Open. I personally am not a fan of the U.S. I don't like to watch tennis. I like to play it. Although I did watch the best tennis player ever. You know who the best tennis player is. Anyone here a tennis fan? Marcelo Rios, a Chilean, the greatest tennis player to ever do it. Lefty, because that's how we do. That's how we do in Chile. You got that Mapuche blood, that Basque blood, that Spanish blood in him. Best tennis player to ever do it, okay? He's retired. He lives out here in Florida. All right? Tennis is for the people. It's for the people to enjoy. Eve says, you will be looking down on Charlie. I hope to be with him. I hope he found peace. Let's watch him talk a little bit more about it, explaining the program. Let's check this out here. Look at this. Now, I'm curious, and I waited to do it here. I want to understand how he did this before we talk a little bit more about it. What was the actual mechanism that he did? Let's ask Gemini. How did Zohran negotiate to get these cheap U.S. Open tickets? Exactly. And how did he pay for them, if at all? Check this out. How did negotiation happen? Mayor Zohran Mamdani partnered with the United States Tennis Association to address surging ticket prices and secondary market markups. Through a joint public initiative between the mayor's administration and the USTA, they agreed to set aside an allotment of 1,000 discounted tickets specifically reserved for local New York City residents. To ensure tickets directly benefited residents rather than scalpers, the negotiation established specific purchase controls. Residency verification. Buyers must confirm NYC residency by entering a local zip code during checkout. Resale restrictions. The tickets are explicitly non-transferable and blocked from resale. Limit purchases are capped at 2 tickets per resident on a first-come, first-served basis. How the tickets were paid for. The mayors did not buy or subsidize the tickets with city tax dollars. Rather, the tickets were paid for directly by the individual buyers. Residents purchased $100 tickets out of pocket with standard extra processing fees waived directly through the official USTA platform online. The initiative functioned as a price cap agreement with the event organizer to offer fixed rate access. That's awesome. So everybody wins. I hope I and everything got one of these. While it resolves immediate access for small groups, not a complete solution. The clear winners are the 500 NYC ticket tennis fans. And the mayor's office earned a visible high-profile win. The USTA absorbs the revenue difference. Yeah, fuck them. It's a USTA. With hundreds of thousands of fans attending, it's a drop in the bucket. Everything, you have to start somewhere. And no structural change to scalping. Oh, he's not a genie. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. J-Boss says, I hope scalpers bought all those discounted tickets. This man is just... Why? Are you still mad about the air conditioning thing, man? Don't crucify Zohran.
This
is a crucifixion. This is political. And don't tell me it's not.
I know you're not mad because of the tennis thing, brother. I know you're not mad about it. I know you're not mad. Okay? Come on. J-Boss says, so in other words, the event lost money. Absorbs the revenue difference is an insane euphemism for loses money. You know what? Let's clear that up. Let's see if they lost money. Let's see if we should cry tears for the USTA. Let's also look up how much the USTA makes. Let's see this real quick. Let's continue the chat. Did the USTA lose money on this? No, the USTA didn't take a financial loss. Gave a potential extra revenue on those specific tickets. The deal is a wash or slight net positive for them overall. How much money in cash does the USTA have? $120 million in cash. $120 million in cash. They don't lose any money. They keep their 120 millions. What is the big problem? Because I hate everything here. I don't care about tennis. You better. What is this? What's going on here? What is the Debbie Downer situation here? You're getting cheap stuff for fun. Why don't you buy yourself 2 discounted tickets, I had everything, and take a beautiful transgender girl out to the club? You go watch tennis, then you go hit up the Spaniard, get some drinks in you. You don't know where the night will take you. It's the big city. End up in the East Village, go watch a movie at the Revival Cinema. I don't know. You go watch some comedy at the Comedy Cellar. What? It's not about the tennis. It's about the experience. I've been to the Miami Open when I was a baby in elementary school. They took us on a field trip. It's a fun time. Even if you don't like tennis, we were having so much fun in the bleachers collecting a bunch of stuff. We were like, people were dropping their wallets. We were taking that. I'm kidding, obviously. That never happened. We were taking stuff that fell from people, though. We were definitely doing that. Come on, man. Come on. Samoja says, as a big sports guy, tickets are crazy to monopoly prices. I completely agree. That the scalping thing, the pro-scalper argument is that they are simply being a market maker and setting the actual price of the free market, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about all these economics. Come on, man. You're taking stuff from people that want it and selling it for more. J-Boss says, gave up potential extra revenue means, yes, they lost money. It means they didn't optimize. It doesn't mean they lost money. I'm sorry. Does J-Boss work for the USTA? They have millions of dollars, therefore selling discounted tickets doesn't lose them money. I never said that. I'm just saying I'm not going to cry for an organization that has $120 million cash. If I ever have $120 million cash or cash equivalents, don't shed a tear for me. Seriously, just don't. AI and everything says, don't a bunch of rich people go to the US Open anyway? Yeah, they do. And if you get some discounted tickets, you can hobnob with them. You can get invited to the Epstein circles. You can get invited to the cool places. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Why wouldn't you? J-Boss says, they will have negative effects. The hoi polloi going where rich people want to go will make it so. These, I would agree with you, J-Boss, I would. But these rich people are not our grandparents' rich people. If this were the Carnegies, it would be different. These rich people are Nepo babies and OnlyFans girls and scammers. It's not, listen, I would agree with you. If it were a pedigree of rich people, it would be different. These are scammers and the worst of the worst. It's America. It's not high-minded European aristocracy. I had everything says, I'd rather watch the Dave Smith show.
We brainwashed out here, bro.
It's just the brainwashing. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. The Muslim jihadist, Islamist, socialist, communist, atheist, evil mayor of New York is giving you basically free tickets. Any asshole with a pulse can make $100 in this country in a day. A day's labor to enjoy the tennis. Come on, man. Simosian says, nah, J-Boss never been to a game and just wants to earn billionaires more money. I'm not going to talk down on J-Boss here. I'm sure that this is some sort of thing about how the free market deserves to set prices. But I look at this, and honestly, if I were in charge, I would confiscate the assets of the USTA. And I would bring tennis to the people, like you. I would buy everyone a tennis racket, the best of its kind. And here he is at the US Open. Look at this little speech here, where he cut. Look at him out here in the Gaddafi sunglasses. Let's watch a little bit of this here. Look at how amazing this is, bringing people together.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is good to be back in the Bronx. And it is great to be here to cut the ribbon on 10 newly resurfaced professional-grade tennis courts right here in Cortona Park. Can we have a round of applause?
That's amazing, dude. The tennis courts in Florida are pretty good, but some of them are neglected. Look at that. He's giving you sports for free.
We are joined here today by leaders from inside and outside of city government, and I want to just take a moment first to acknowledge USTA Foundation CEO Ginny.
Look at how excited these kids are in the back. Look how excited they are. They get to be on TV. Mom, I'm on the big screen.
Ehrlich, who's here with us. Yonex USA President Lanice Douglas, who's here with us. NYJTL CEO President Uday Tambar, who's here with us. My former colleague and still friend, Assemblymember Chantel Jackson, who's here with us. Current colleague and current friend, Councilmember Amanda Farias, who's here with us.
Giving everyone their laurels. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the DSA.
Of our city. From the more than 500 public courts and parks across the 5 boroughs to the more than 100-year history of the U.S. Open.
You know what? We're going to have extra time. If you want to talk, and I expect I Hate Everything to get into Discord. Please get in the Discord server and come talk. I Hate Everything. You're in New York. But if you guys want to talk about this, if you want to have an argument about this, or anything we talked about, an impromptu forum, because we're going to have extra time. Not much happened today. I Hate Everything. Brother, get in there, man. I need to hear from the ground. I haven't been to New York since Zohran's been elected. Come on. Come on. I Hate Everything says, bro, it's tennis. I'm more of a combat sports fan. If he was giving out cheap shit, well, maybe he will. Maybe he will. Come on, man. Give him a shot. J-Boss says, all he's doing is mixing poor people with rich people who seek exclusivity. This will ruin tennis, for example. Commies are evil and stupid at this. Oh, my God. A gift horse in the mouth. These are not good rich people. If it were free tickets to Monaco, it would be different. These are the American rich people, okay? The American rich people are busy doing stupid stuff, like running the Tucker Carlson show or scamming the government for EV tax credits. Come on, man. But if we want to argue about that, J-Boss, get in the Discord, impromptu forum. And I Hate Everything. I want to see you in the Discord. And Simosian, if you're in there, get in the Discord because we're going to have extra time. We'll watch a little bit more here.
In Queens, the sport has been played, shaped, and transformed by New Yorkers from all walks of life. I'm thinking of New Yorkers like Mayor David Dinkins, who did not pick up a... We should have a round of applause for Mayor Dinkins.
That's crazy to clap for Dinkins. You shouldn't be clapping. Dinkins' restoration arc, I did not expect.
Their topspin and their volley is right behind me. I think of the athletes who grew up in Harlem and Queens and would go on to become some of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. Players like Althea Gibson, who learned by playing with her friends on a roped-off street on 143rd Street before playing on the courts of the Cosmopolitan Tennis Club in Sugar Hill, and who would later become the first black player to ever compete in and win a Grand Slam in 1956.
That's right. Black people in STEM, black people in tennis.
I think of players like John McEnroe, or Johnny Mac to those who've been around long enough to watch him play, who long before he became the world #1 was just a kid from Douglaston with a racket and a dream. Though Gibson and McEnroe grew up in different boroughs and in different eras, though they played a very different game, New York City gave them both the same opportunities, courts to play on and the chance to be great. And today, as we cut the ribbon on these 10 newly resurfaced courts, we are giving that legacy a new life.
Where is Cortona Park? Let me look this up here. I better see I Hate Everything in that fucking Discord. Crotona Park. It's in the South Bronx. The Puerto Ricans are going to be playing tennis, man. Look at that. Dude, the only time I've been up here, I was in the Bronx. One time I drove through it. It's a shithole, man. The Bronx is really bad. I did not like my time in the Bronx. It was not good. Look at that, dude. Next time in New York, I'm going to go hit up Crotona Park. Smoke some reefer with my Puerto Rican friends. No, I'm not going to do that. Smoking reefer with Puerto Ricans, that's how you wake up with an STD, man. And I'm not talking about the girls. I'm talking about the guys. I'm kidding. We love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's great. Everything says, I don't see the big deal about it. Well, let us know in the Discord. Get on here, man. Boo this man. Boo him on the Discord. The DSA whitewashing Dinkins is crazy. No, it is crazy to see them do the Dinkins thing. When Tribe Called Quest had to change the lyrics, Mayor Dinkins was a pretty good mayor. Mayor Dinkins was a fucked up mayor. You were like, that's when you knew it was bad. And J Boss says, you're extra funny tonight. Dude, I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I guess that it's showing in a good way. I'm glad. Look at this, Crotona Park. Look at that. You go play some tennis. Then you can go get some dental work at 505 Dental Associates, 4.7 stars. Then you can go to McDonald's, get yourself a cheeseburger. And then what else is there to do in the Bronx? You can go to the Tremont Hotel Bronx and stay there. I would never stay in the Bronx, bro. This place sucks. When I went to the Bronx for the first time, I was like, there's no way this is what they're always shilling. Like, this place is not cool. I did not like the Bronx. I like Manhattan. Manhattan's awesome. Listen, this is all I've seen of New York. Brooklyn over here. Is Brooklyn in the house? I like Brooklyn. Dude, they have so many neighborhoods in this fucking city. Queens is the best. That's where my people are. The Venezuelans and the Colombians. The fishbacks are there. Brooklyn over here. I love Brooklyn. Brooklyn's great. You got Manhattan. In Manhattan, you got to go to Tribeca. Tribeca's great. The East Village is the best. Lower East Side. Lower East Side's okay. I don't really get it. It's not my thing. Greenwich Village is great. The Upper East Side, man. I love the Upper East. The Upper East Side is the best. Central Park. I love the Met. I always get in for free. You want to know the little secret here for people? You want to go see the Met, which is the greatest art museum to have ever been made? The greatest one that's ever been made for free in New York. You just walk in through the gift shop. I promise you, you'll get in for free. You'll get in for free. I was doing free museums before Zohran. I just walk in through the gift shop. Amazing, amazing. No, that's great. That's great. Everything says, I don't think the story is a big deal. It's a nice thing to do. It's a nice thing to do for the people. For the people. This is his Bane moment. Let's look up that Bane moment real quick. Find this here. 1 second. Let me. I'm always scared to just pull up my YouTube because then people are going to accuse me of being crazy or something. Where's that Bane clip? Bane. To you, the people. Here we go. Let's play this here. Here it is. Here we go. Where is it?
And giving it back to.
Oh, look, they did it with a Trump mashup. Let's watch this here. This is Zohran.
And giving it back to you, the people. And we give it back to you, the people.
Absolutely. This is Zohran taking the tickets from the bourgeois class, hoarding these, scalping these, and returning them to you for a small fee.
And we give it back to you, the people.
That's Zohran Mamdani. He needs to buy the Bane mask. Was Bane Ugandan? Probably not. Eve says, great idea. They let my entire family in for free. At the Met, you will get in for free through the gift shop. I promise you. Now, I feel bad doing it because I'm like, I should support the Met, but they get enough people. They have that Sackler money, and I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to feel bad that they have Sackler money.
These courts are some of the most popular in the Bronx. They are home to the country's largest free junior tennis competition, the Mayor Dinkins Cup, hosted by our partners at New York Junior Tennis and Learning, and featuring more than 800 young players from across the city. And yet for too long, these courts have been worn down, with cracks in the surface that make bounces unpredictable and play all too difficult.
So true, man. Dude, you don't want to play in a bad court. I hope he gives you guys clay courts.
Today, I'm proud to say that we've given these kids and New Yorkers across the Bronx not only a court to play on, but a new, repaired, professional-grade surface that will allow them the chance to be great. I want to commend New York City Parks and the workers who completed this refurbishment in just 3 weeks.
Amazing time. Amazing time. 3 weeks, dude. That's dictator time. That's amazing. Good for him, man. Good for him. I like it. It's a feel-good story. You know, I'm still mad at him over the Grand Platinum thing, but whatever. You know, that's how it is. So we have extra time. I can't believe it. What should we look at with our extra time? Let's make use of it. Well, we talked about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. You guys want to watch some trippy shit? What's the Adam Curtis doc called again? Adam Curtis Al-Qaeda doc. This was banned in the US documentary. Let's watch a part of this. This is great. The Power of Nightmares. Dude, this shit is fire, bro. And they're all free on YouTube. This is the best doc ever. I want to show you this here. 1 second. The Power of Nightmares. Oh, what the fuck is that? Here it is. The Power of Nightmares.
On the attack of
television said when Gunsmoke went on.
فاهم إن هو مفكر إسلامي وشخصية عامة وشخصية قوية.
It is a great doc, man. You gotta watch this. Fuck, dude, I forgot. It's multi-part. Yeah. Power of Nightmares is so good. No, wait. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one here. This one's so good.
In the past, politicians promised to create a better world.
And this, all around him was
quickness of mind.
As he called détente.
That, you know, he is a vision.
Power aggressively as a force for good in the world. Just this. Paul Wolfowitz, Richard Pearl, and other. But the hardliners in Washington refused point blank.
We want, which they want.
That the solution was to attack the source of the corruption directly. How and why that fantasy was created.
Here we go.
And who it benefits.
Look at this.
Fantasy. And do not
This is Curtis red pilling hard. You're gonna love this. This doc is so good, man. It's one of the best. Let's watch this here real quick.
They say that they will rescue us from power and authority. Instead of delivering dreams, politicians now promise to protect us from nightmares. They say that they will rescue us from dreadful dangers that we cannot see and do not understand. And the greatest danger of all is international terrorism, a powerful and sinister network with sleeper cells in countries across the world. A threat that needs to be fought by a war on terror. But much of this threat is a fantasy which has been exaggerated and distorted by politicians. It's a dark illusion that has spread unquestioned through governments around the world, the security services, and the international media. This is a series of films about how and why that fantasy was created.
Dude, in this movie, he literally argues that Al-Qaeda did not exist, that it was fake, that the neocons made up Al-Qaeda as a concept, and that when they made it up, UBL saw it and he saw good marketing and he was like, hell yeah, we'll call it that. Why not? We're going to call it that. It's crazy how deep he goes in this. Let's catch up with the chat. Wow, we have an active chat. Let's catch up with the chat. I don't want to rob you guys of chat time. Let's check this out here. And everything says, I don't see anything to talk about this story, Leo's tennis, bro. Him and the DSA trying to whitewash Jenkins is the only thing I find retarded. Zohran pissing off the cyclists and urbanists by fixing the BQE did make me happy. What's the BQE? Is that the highway, the one that Robert Moses built? I'm a Robert Moses fan personally. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm kind of a Robert Moses fan. Kind of the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Yeah, dude. Kind of a Robert Moses fan. I know that he wasn't a great guy and everything, but Robert Moses was fucking visionary, bro. Like Steve Jobs, but racist. Crazy. He built New York, and people hate him. I'm like, what? Well, that's a good reason to hate someone if they invented New York. But, you know, J-Boss says it's a bullshit story, the tennis one. Poor people should be working and not playing tennis. Poor people should be having fun, actually. You're in Spain. Brother, isn't the unemployment rate like 20%? I know those poor people aren't working over there. It's like The Sopranos, right? I wish I were Spanish. I wish I could smoke mushrooms all day and collect government checks, but I'm not. I'm American for now. Pretty soon I'll get it, and then I'm going to go over there and get it, you know? Poor people should be having fun. Poor people make life interesting. I love poor people. Poor people, I don't love poor people, but, you know, I tolerate them. Oh, Jesse wants to say something. Let's listen to Jesse here real quick. Let me patch him in here. Jesse, make sure you mute. See if he's in here. Jesse, I can hear you. Oh, you're muted, Jesse. You got to unmute there, sir. Just finishing off the show, but let me know what your thoughts are. I never think so. Well, lefties hate him. Dude, I just don't get why Robert Moses gets that much hate, because I understand that you may disagree with him. You may think that he did things in a racist way, which he did undeniably. But come on, like, he still built the city. He built the city. And it's still standing here. That, you know, that's one thing that I really learned from Robert Moses. From Robert Moses and from Lee Kuan Yew and anyone who built something. What I learned is that if you want to build something, you have to prepare to be hated for the rest of eternity. And that is what Robert Moses is. He's hated. Oh, we lost Jesse here. Jesse, whenever you unmute, you can come on. We lost it because Robert Moses, I get it. People don't like him. But he did a lot of interesting stuff, man. Robert Moses' most racist thing was that he made this bridge here. I'm sure you know the story. Robert Moses stone bridges. These are to get to the beach in New York. Where is it? What are they called? The Long Island Parkways. Here they are. He built these bridges here. They're still there today. I drove under these. And if you notice, the way they're built and their heights, they're too short for buses. That's because black people took the bus back then almost exclusively. And he didn't want to let the black people go to the beach. He wanted them to stay in the city, which is unacceptable, you know? But whatever. He still, look at this bridge. Just put it on stilts or something. It looks fucking cool, man. He built something. Most people don't ever build anything. He built this bridge. Look at this. He built this bridge. And you're going to hate on him? Come on, man. Robert Moses. Let's just look at bridges. Let's see some of his bridges. Look at that, man. Look at all these bridges. He built this one, the Brooklyn Queens Bridge. What is this? This isn't the Brooklyn Bridge. He didn't build that one. Look at this, man. This picture is like pure Atlas Shrugged. You know, the Fountainhead. Look at this, man. Just doing it for the love of the game. He couldn't become mayor, so he decided to build a city. I can't hate on any builder out there, man. I can't hate on any of them. All right. With that, everyone, I think Jesse, we can't get him on tonight, but it's okay. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's play the Patreon ad.
Hello, I like money.
Oh, give me the money.
Show me the money!
Give me the money, okay?
This country, you gotta make the money first.
Get the fucking
Money!
Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. And absolutely right. I hate everything. Robert Moses could tell people.
You didn't build that.
You didn't build that. How can you hate from outside of the club? You can't even get in. If you're new here, be sure you subscribe. Be sure you join us in the channel. Join us on Patreon. You get the King Leo Movie Club. Send us money. You know, we need money for the show to work. We need money. There's a lot of inflation. You know, the cost for the show, they're going up every day. The network is killing me over here, okay? The network makes me pay for the studio time, okay? I don't know why they do that to me, okay? The network, they used to give us complimentary water. We have to pay $5 a piece now for water, okay? Me and my producer's sweating his balls off. Has to pay $5 for a water bottle. It's from Kirkland. That costs 50 cents at Walmart. You know, send us some money. If inflation goes up, the network is not helping us out. Pretty soon they're going to cut our AC, all right? Send some money. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Sorry we couldn't get you on, Jesse. But we'll wait for you next time. Friday is the forum. Just 2 more days. Get ready. I hate everything. I better see you on Friday, man. I better hear from you on Friday, brother. Been waiting to hear from you. All right, everyone. I will see you guys on tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed the show.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world.